Okay, members and friends, so I'm going to do 3 jars of beans here. Those are from my bean patch. And I got a little bit to eat, right? And a few more are still growing. I think what I'm going to end up doing is in the next week or so, I'm going to probably end up go buy some beans because it's the season now, right? And they're probably quite cheap. And I'll see if I can do a few more jars when that time comes. I chose to do it this way because, you know, larger family, open up 1 jar. That's probably the equivalent of 2 to 2.5, 3 cans of beans, right? You can figure, right? At least 2 cans. So that would be the equivalent of maybe 6 to 7 cans of beans. Right? So anyway, I'm going into the pressure canner here in a minute. Okay, members and friends, I'm going into round 2 here because this jam that I made is pretty good. So I was picking blackberries all day yesterday in the afternoon. Obviously got a big bucket full, so I'm gonna make another 10 more cups anyway. I don't know how many cups I'm gonna get out of this. It takes about 2 of these, so we'll see. And then I picked up a whole new set of trays, so they're dehydrating because I've got the jar over there filling up because I like to always have some dry ones. Here I'm going to attempt to try and make blackberry jelly. So we'll see. Yeah. And then back to apples. And then it's on to walnuts. So we'll be back. Oh yes, I forgot. This is something, you know, I pick up in the thrift stores, right? This is something old. It's very sturdy though. And I thought it would come in handy one day. So I guess you just kind of hard for me to do this with one hand. But you turn it, right? And it squishes the fruit. You can see it's squishing it. Right? It's called a presser, and the seeds aren't going through, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I can press. And then here, that looks pretty good. So we'll see. Okay, members and friends. I don't know. Anyway, they said boil it for 5 minutes, cover it, and then strain it through a cheesecloth. I didn't do that. Instead, I used that little food mill. Here's the pulp. Obviously, it's a little more seedy, but whatever. I'm just going to mix it in with the rest of this blackberry, right? Because it got seeds anyway. And what I did is I took out 1.5 cups, I think, of the juice, right? And put it in a pot. And then I took the other juice from what I was doing there to make 3.5 cups. So 2 cups from that sieve thing, sifter, whatever, and then 1.5 cups from there. So that's going to be my jelly. They say it's better to do it through a cheesecloth because it doesn't go, you know, cloudy. But at this point, you know, I don't think once we open a jar, I think it's only enough for like 3 little jars. So, and then I put that pulp in there to replace the 1.5 cups that I took out, and I'm just going to throw that in there, and it's like almost considered a double batch. So we'll be back. Okay, members and friends, this one here is 10 cups or so. I think 11 maybe almost, or 10. I don't know, 10 or 11 cups of blackberry, and then I cut up some of those little apples that I found, right, and I threw them in there. And so far I've put in 7 cups of sugar. I was looking at a recipe. It said 9 cups of crushed berries and 6 cups of sugar, and just boil it down versus using the pepsin, right? So I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm just going to boil it down and use less sugar and bring it more to a rolling boil here. And you just keep stirring it, right? And yeah, and that's what I've done so far. Alrighty, so when you don't use the pepsin, right? I never used it personally. Over the years, when I made jam, I just would boil it down. But this is what you get. You get it all over the place. It's just spitting everywhere, right? So, other than that, we're doing pretty good. Okay, members and friends, I don't know what day this is anymore. So here's my juice that I extracted yesterday. This is uncooked, and because I took it through that food mill, you can see it's actually kind of thick. So that would be a good thing. You want to taste it? I know, grandson. This is for all your hard work, Andre. You like it?
Jam?
It's going to be jam. No, actually, this is going to be jelly.
Jelly.
Ugh, it tastes like juicy blackberry. Hold on. Okay, I just want to point out how deep, rich, oh, this color is just beautiful. Look at this. This is the jelly I'm making, people. The jam I made yesterday without the pectin, I had to cook it and it was like muck all over the place. It gelled really good. So this pectin, or however you pronounce it, what I'm finding is it just kind of cuts the time in terms of actually making the jam itself. You don't have to boil it for as long, right? Bring it down to a consistency where it will gel on its own. But isn't that just, look at that color, that is so lovely. Oh. Okay, members and friends, so it's 9:09 now in the evening. So as you can see, my jelly settled. I've already given away 4 jars of jam and 1 jar of jelly, so 5 jars so far. And I went and picked out some more blackberries. So as you can see, I got some juice for tomorrow. So I'm going to do another jelly. And then the pulp this time, I ran it through here, got whatever. And then this here, this stuff here, what I'm going to do, because my grandson likes to eat, and I don't know. I want to put some brown sugar. I'm going to do 2 different kinds. I don't know where my dark brown sugar is, but maybe I'll look for that and I'll do this again, because I'll probably go pick more blackberries. That's what I seem to be doing for the last several days. Got scratches all over my arms, right? But anyway, I'm going to take 2 different types of brown sugar. I've got this one, which is not as, I want the dark one, but that's in a different container. Then this is from the Punjabi community. This is a different kind of brown sugar. It's more crystallized. Right? So I'm going to take some of that and I'm going to mix it in, because it's bitter, right? It's sour. It's like a sour fruit, right? Mix it in with that, and then the other brown sugar, mix it in there. And then I'm just coming along in here. Here's my more dehydrated blackberries. This is what I ran through the sifter, the strainer, and it's just like that. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to take another tray, put that on top. I'm experimenting here, people. And here's one of these things, right? And then half and half, or whatever. However long I'm going to spread it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it like a little bit of a fruit roll-up, right? But I'm going to put brown sugar with this next batch. Hold on. Okay, as you can see, there's the pulp. I just used that strainer thing of mine, right? I'm going to just put a little dash of lemon juice in there. Here, I put the crystal one, so I got 2 separate kind, right? I put the crystal brown sugar in there. 2 scoops, this size. That's what I did. And then I put, you can see the 2 there, right? And I want a little bit of lemon in this one. I didn't put lemon in the other one. I want to stir this up now. And this has seeds in it, right? This is, this, I don't want to make jam. I'm making jelly tomorrow, and I'm not making jam. I already did jam. I can do jam again in 4 or 5 days again if I want. I'm just going to mix this all up in there and taste it. I may put 1 more scoop of brown sugar in. And then tomorrow what I'll do is I'll look for my dark brown, because the dark brown is the one that has the calcium. This isn't dark brown. It kind of looks dark brown, but it's not the darkest, right? So there's not very much calcium in there. But it is, you get these sesame seed snaps, right, with seeds in them. I know this is not a sesame seed, but, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it dehydrates, right? Because even if I break it up into little pieces, to make like a trail mix of some kind with my grandson, because he always wants to eat every hour on the hour. He's getting a little pot belly on him, so I don't know. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing. I'll be back. Okay, members and friends. So I put the two scoops of that, just regular brown sugar, mixed it in. It tastes really good. This is the one with the lemon, but just because it is a little, tart, I'm just going to go like this, if you can see, just to give it a little crystallization on top of it as it dries. This is my blackberry seed fruit roll-up. I don't know. We're just checking it out. So I just wanted you to see that. My daughter's helping me here for a second. There you go. Can you see that? That looks good. Okay. Okay, and I just wanted to point out, this is tin foil. I'm using tin foil instead of plastic. I don't like the idea of making fruit roll-ups on saran wrap. So I'm attempting to do it with tin foil. So we'll see. So there it is. That's tin foil. So we're going to see how this goes. And there's my blackberries. I actually did them on 160 because normally these things take like 3 days. I was stacking this thing up high, right? And it did, what, day and a half? It was pretty, well, I don't know. I've been picking berries for like 5 days straight now, so I don't know. But let's see what happens with that. Alrighty-o. It's like 2:02 in the morning here, and I'm making applesauce. I just want to get these things done, right? And then tomorrow I'm going to do the grape jelly and start working on a board to try something here with these walnuts I have. And then a couple, 2-3 days from now, go back to my haunting ground and go get some more blackberries. Right. So I'm getting my blackberry on this season around this time of year. This time last year I didn't do very much. This year I'm doing an extensive amount. Okay. I'll be back. This is a big canner. Okay, so that's what I was doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's that fruit roll-up. It's actually not too bad. This is the one that has no sugar or nothing in it. It's a little stuck, but it's coming off. It's really good. Alrighty-o, 2 days later, now I'm going to get on with this jelly. I just wanted to point out that, you know, I did it fresh with the food milk, and I just stirred in the foam. It's quite nice in here, right? Oops, sorry. It's quite nice. It's thick. You can see it's already thick. And I'm using an old recipe book, just something 50-cent book. And I'm going to do it without the pectin, and it requires less sugar. 4 cups of berry juice to 3 cups sugar. I find that the pectin, all it does is cuts the cooking time in half. You don't make so much mess, but it requires more sugar and it costs more, either or. But this here, less sugar, more berry, and just more cooking time. So we'll see. Be back. Alright. Okay, so I'm using a bigger pot longer, right? But everything's coming, like, boiling up to here to the surface, right? And it's just best to keep stirring it. This is not a very good pot because the bottom is very thin. It's very hot. I did 9 cups of juice, pulp or whatever you want to call it, to 7 cups of sugar. And then, you know, you just bring it boil and boil, boil, right? This one here, they say, it was already gelling. You can see on the spoon before I even started cooking it. So I don't think it's going to take that long. But they say, I don't know, when it sheets off. It's not sheeting off. Whoops. Still kind of thin because of the sugar, right? Anyway. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but it's on high. The stove is on high here. And the this is ready, I think. But it's boiled down, right? It's not as up in here. It used to be up in here. It's gone down like almost 3 inches. Right? And what's happening here, right, you can see it's already gelling. So what we're going to do is get the spoon nice and hot. Oops, sorry. And we're just going to take a little bit like that, and we'll put it over here. Alright, just let it sit for a couple of seconds. So this is just boiling nicely on its own now. I don't have to worry about it going too high. Like I said, it's probably ready. The only thing, I have bigger spoons. I don't know where they are. I'll have to hunt for them, because I need a longer handle spoon here because my fingers are getting steamed. But other than that, you just want to, you know, prevent it from burning on the bottom, right? Sugar likes to burn, right? So, and then take this, and it's still kind of runny, but it's still hot, right? And if worse comes to worse, you can always use it for pancakes or maybe a crepe or something, right? If it doesn't gel. But I think it's going to gel because this stuff is already gelling. Watch. See? Looks like it's gelling to me. You can see it's boiled down even more now. It's still on high, and it's dropped down by 3 inches in here. I can't really see with all this steam, right? But yeah, I'd say that's about ready, people. It was kind of ready even before I stuck it in there, because I used what do you call it? You know, pulp more than I did. Like I grinded it from in that grinder sifter thing or whatever it was. So it was kind of pulpy, right? It wasn't just flat out juice. It had some actual berry in it too that was sieved through, right? So I think we're okay. I think we're good to go. That's not going anywhere. Does that look like it's going anywhere? It's not going anywhere. Right. Looks like glue. I think what you do is you're supposed to take the spoon, put it off to the side over here, let it completely cool, and then see how it drains off the spoon. So we'll do that in a minute. Hold on. Okay, so there's that spoon. Still warm though, right? And then it's supposed to just sheet off the spoon. Well, you can see it accumulating there, right? It's thickening up. So obviously, I think, yeah, see, it's not dripping nothing there, very little. It's starting to gel on the spoon. So I think it's ready, people. Okay, so I only got 4 of these jars, right? So that's, I don't know, maybe 2 cups per jar. I'm not sure. We'll measure it out. Hold on. Alrighty-o. So as you can see, it's fine. It's still warm, but it's fine. I have little plums here. And I got more blackberries. So I'm just going to mix up the 2 and just fill up a few more jars. Okay, I had to change it back to my big pot. It was burning on the bottom. So, anyway, I'm just cooking it on 4 right now just to soften up the fruit, and taking a potato masher and just, oops, making it, I mean, you're going to have a little skin from the plums, but that's okay. And I didn't really count it. It came out approximately about 15 cups uncrushed. So, I don't know what that is crushed. So I'm probably going to put anywhere between 6 to 8 cups of sugar and then just boil it down like I did before. Use those 2-cup jars because, you know, a 1-cup jar isn't big enough really. Yeah, you're talking. A 1-cup jar isn't really big enough for the family. Right. When the kids start eating it, it goes pretty fast. So can see that that's working pretty good. So we're just going to boil that for a while and just, I'll see what happens. This one's going to have the skin of the plum in it, but that's okay. It's all food. Okay, so I took out some of the skins. I'll feed those to my chickens. I'm sure they'll eat it. And then I did 7.5 cups of sugar in this. So now we're going to bring it to a boil. And I'm not using pepsin, right? So we're just going to let it boil away. Keep stirring it. Okay, so when you're not using pepsin, sorry, there's all this heat, right? And steam. You can tell when your jam's getting done when these little, things end up all over the place, including like way over there, and it's all over the floor, which I've been walking on, and it just sprays all over the place, right? So 10-15 minutes later, when it's shooting up over there, then you know your jam is getting pretty much done. Just wanted to point that out. See? Okay, so now we're on to this blackberry crisp. I'm just breaking it up and putting it in a jar. I'm laying it flat as I go, right? It's okay. It's crunchy. It's just straight up blackberry with that brown sugar. Yeah, I'll take it off. It's coming off the tin foil quite good. Right? It's coming out in strips. But I'm just saving it in a jar. So I just wanted to point that out.